It was the day after Christmas, December 26, 2016. In the small South African township of Macau, most families were winding down from the festive celebrations, sharing leftovers, laughter, and memories. But inside one quiet home, darkness had fallen in more ways than one. At around 2 a.m., local police received a disturbing call. Shots fired, multiple victims, a respected family massacred. When officers arrived at the Sabati residence, nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to walk into. The house was silent, still, too still, and then they found them. 5 lifeless bodies. The mother, Mathapelo Sabati, 42 years old, a lieutenant colonel in the South African Police Service. Her husband, Magamatsi Sabati, a quiet man known in the community. Their daughter, Katlego, just 22 and pregnant. Their teenage son, Tabogo, 18. And a 6-year-old girl, Yegafatso Thubakgale, a niece visiting the family for the holidays. All of them had been shot, execution style. There were no signs of forced entry, no obvious motive, no suspects. The community was stunned. How could an entire family be slaughtered, seemingly without warning? Police launched an immediate investigation. Officers combed through the house, looking for evidence. Neighbors were questioned. Nearby CCTV footage was reviewed. But days passed, then weeks, then months, and still, no answers. The Sebati Family Massacre became one of the country's most confounding cold cases. The theory at the time? A home invasion gone horribly wrong. Some whispered it might have been revenge, maybe a hit. After all, Mathapelo was a police officer. Perhaps she had enemies, but none of it made sense. Why kill the children? Why leave no trace? Why, if it was a robbery, was nothing taken? And so, like too many cases, the file was quietly shelved. The headlines faded. The family was laid to rest. And for 5 years, the truth stayed buried. Until, one night in November 2021, something changed. A man walked into a police station. He was nervous, uneasy, and then he said something that turned the case on its head. I was there the night the Sabati family was killed. I was one of the shooters, but I wasn't acting alone. He didn't just confess. He named names. And the names he gave shocked the nation. He said the massacre had been an inside job, that the real masterminds were the Sabati children themselves. Nkuliliko Sabati, Mathapelo's son, and his sister, Yegafatso Sabati. They weren't just survivors. They were the orchestrators. According to the confession, Nkuliliko and Yegafatso, then both teenagers, had grown resentful. Their parents were too strict, their lives too controlled. They wanted freedom. And, allegedly, they wanted money, insurance money. So, they did the unthinkable. They contacted known hitmen in their area, arranged a time, and on the night of December 26, 2016, they opened the door and let the killers inside. No forced entry, no struggle, just a quiet betrayal. Room by room, the gunmen executed each family member. Katlego was pregnant. Tabogo was barely an adult. Little Yegafatso, just 6 years old. The gunmen finished the job, and then they vanished into the night. For years, the siblings lived with the secret, pretending to mourn, attending the funerals, lighting the candles, playing the role of survivors, until the walls finally came crumbling down. Following the confession, police arrested both siblings and the 2 alleged hitmen. All were charged with multiple counts of murder, conspiracy, and defeating the ends of justice. South Africa was horrified. How could children plan something so cold, so calculated? What kind of pain drives someone to want their entire family erased? To this day, the trial continues. And while the court decides on guilt or innocence, one truth remains undeniable. The Sabati Family Massacre wasn't a random crime. It wasn't about robbery. It wasn't a home invasion. It was a story of betrayal, of darkness disguised as grief, of a family torn apart from within. And for the people of Macau and across the country, the scars will never fully heal. Because sometimes, evil doesn't come from strangers in the night. Sometimes, it sleeps in the room down the hall. If this story moved you, disturbed you, or left you with questions, you're not alone. True crime isn't just about mystery. It's about understanding the unimaginable and remembering the lives lost in its wake. This has been the Sabati Family Massacre. Thank you for listening. Be safe, be kind, and always, trust carefully.